Man, life is good, but as we all know, frustrations are always lurking. Would you prefer to focus more on the goodness of life and less on the frustrations? I know I would. Stick around for 3 tactics to redistribute your focus budget. Welcome back to Outside with Sarge. We are out in the snow today. It's still beautiful. Hey, yeah, life throws a lot at us. There are a lot of things vying for our attention. Heck, there's a lot of things demanding our attention and focus. A while back, I was taught 3 ways to redistribute my focus. And let me tell you, it has paid huge dividends in not only my career, but life in general. Stick around. Here are 3 practices that will reel in that focus and help you to define what you choose to set your focus upon. Before we get into those 3 steps, let's establish some parameters. With the help of a friend who has mastered being unfocused, check out this graph here. Now let's break up our existence with regard to focus into 3 sectors. The green sector will be things in our life that we can control. And as you notice, that green sector is pretty close to home. It's very close to where we are. It's not too far reaching. And if we're honest, it's a pretty small area. But that green area representing things that we can control, those things are our emotions, our responses, our words, our reactions, whether we work out or not, our habits, our boundaries, self-care, self-replenishment. These are all in that green area of things we can control. Now, just outside that green area is the yellow area, and this will represent things that we can influence. And as you'll notice, the yellow area is a bit bigger than the green area. Things that we can influence include things such as family, friends, our dogs. And these are achieved through things like influence, modeling, persuasion, guilting, listening, coercion, and infection. Such as you've all heard somebody that's had a pretty wild laugh and it becomes infectious. They're causing influence on the group around them. And then the area outside of the yellow area and the green area, in other words, everything that you cannot control or influence is included in that vast, big, imposing red area. And as you'll notice, there are far more things in that red area than both the green and yellow area combined. These are things such as people's opinions, politics, the weather, the comment section on an anti-social media post, the past, the future, other people's life choices, religion, acts of God. These are all things that we neither have control or influence over. Now, I will tell you that there are some times where you will get some crossover from the red area into the yellow area, such as, let's say, the future. Can you influence the future? Yeah, to a degree you can. But for the most part, the future rests in that red area. We simply largely cannot control the future. Now, we can control our reaction to the future, and we can influence people's opinion of the future when it arrives. So consider those 3 areas in our lives, and it simply becomes a habit of deciding what I want to give more focus into. Do I want to focus more on things I can control? Do I want to focus more on things I can influence? And how much do I honestly want to focus on things that I can't control and I can't influence? And ask yourself, how much time am I wasting or inappropriately giving for free to things I can't control. Here's a perfect example. Sometimes I find myself scrolling mindlessly through social media posts. And I'll tell you what, after 5-10 minutes of that, I never really feel better. More times than not, I feel worse. I feel anxious, I feel agitated, I feel angry. And that anger could be righteous anger, right? But nonetheless, there are things that I could probably better put my focus into. If we look at it as a budget, where am I going to put more time and effort? Is it going to be the green area, the yellow area, or the red area? Let's try to focus more on the green area. And by doing that, a secondary value-added lesson will be that I will be better prepared when things that I can't control or influence pop up in my life. They'll have less a chance of dragging me down. Imagine a magnifying glass. Now, on its own, it's some glass with a handle, but when you put that thing to work, it can refocus things that are out of focus. But you know what else it can do? When you collectively focus the energy into one area in that magnifying glass, you can actually start a fire with it, harnessing the power of the sun. And so use that analogy when you find yourself focusing inappropriately on things you can't control, or you're giving too much time to things that you can only minimally influence. I'll tell you what, you'll have better days, life will be better than it was before, and you will become more resilient to the comment sections on social media. Now, I'll tell you how I got that tip many years ago. It was on a day when I was at work, and out of all the traumatic and stressful situations I experienced at work, this one up until that time was by far the worst. Matter of fact, to this day, it's still the worst day of my career to this point. And I saw a psychologist because I wasn't dealing well with the fallout of that incident. And when I saw the psychologist, she gave me some tools to deal with that traumatic experience. And this was one of the things that she gave me. She helped me to refocus and redistribute my focus, and realizing, without giving too many details, that there was nothing I could do to help those people, one of them being a baby. And since then, I've used that 3-phase distribution in my life. Yes, there's been times where I find myself focusing too much on things I can't control, but that lesson always stays with me. And now I give that to you. Put it to work, and I'm telling you, you're going to see good results. Hey, that's what I have for you this time. I'm outside in nature. I'm refocusing today so that tomorrow is going to be even better. Don't forget to work on yourself. Get outside the norms of just absorbing that trauma. Get outside the historic practices of walking off those injuries, whether they be physical or mental. Now let's get outside and let's get that work done.